Steve Matthews coming to you with a lower body mobility group. What I'm going to use for this group is an ab mat, a med ball, I have a big Dynamax med ball, and just a golf club for balance and for holding on to something. So the first drill I'm going to have us all do is a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to be kneeling on my pad. If you don't have one of these, you could use an RX pad or a folded up yoga mat. From here, I'm going to use the ball to roll forward. I'm going to drive my back hip open. So I'm going to show you from the side as well, but I'm driving this front knee forward. I'm keeping this back hip and quad open. And I'm going to start to try to bring my front knee out a little bit. So if you see me from the side, a lot of times the mistake I'll see is people will be here and they'll be kind of leaning into it. And they might feel a stretch there, but they're not going to get anything back through here. So I'm stepping big, head up, chest up, and then leaning into it. Then I'm going to bump that knee out. I'm going to hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. From there, I will clearly move over to my other side. So other knee down, big step forward, big open hip forward. I'm using this because it feels good for me to hold that in a stretch. I feel more balanced. Some of you will be able to go down towards the floor or bring those hands in, or even go lower. All right, some of you will need this. Some of you might even need a stick or a club or something higher to hold on to. So I'm going to do the kneeling hip flexor stretch, 30 to 60 seconds per side. From there, I'm going to do called a frog stretch. In the frog stretch, I'm going to get my knees out wide. I'm going to get my shins parallel with each other. I'm going to flare my feet out. For some of you, this will be enough of a stretch. You might need a mat or something under the knees here. But from here, I'm going to sit my butt back over my heels, and I'm feeling an adductor or groin stretch. Wide knees, shins parallel, toes flared out, butt sits back. If that feels good and you need more, you can sit down to the ball like so. If that feels good and you need more, you can get those forearms to the floor as well. So let's go with 60 seconds, 1 minute, in that specific stretch hold. Last stretch I'm going to have us do. I'm limited in this range, so I'm going to give you my best attempt. But I'm going to take my pad, I'm going to put it on the floor, I'm going to put my hands in front of the pad. My left knee is going to come to the pad. I'm going to grab my left foot with my right hand and try to bring my shin as close to parallel to my chest as possible. And from here, the key factor for most people is getting the back knee back. So from the side, I'm kneeling, I'm grabbing that foot, I'm bringing it up, and then from here, I'm going to pick my back knee up by putting my foot into the ground and then reaching that back. That's where I get the stretch to transfer to my posterior on my bent knee side, my left knee side. From there, I can use my ball and sit into that stretch. Again, we're going to shoot for a minute on this side and then a minute on the other side. So we did 3 different stretches. The kneeling hip flexor, the frog, wide, and then the pigeon up and back. So we'll hold each of those for 1 minute per side. From there, I should be feeling better. I should be feeling more loose. So I'm then going to move into 3 dynamic drills. The first one is going to be a kneeling step out. If you followed me before, you know I like this drill for almost all of my people. So head up, chest up, big torso. I'm stepping out, and I'm working that as a balance drill. If that goes well, I could work into a step out plus a rotation. Step out plus a rotation. If I have my club near me, I can grab that club. I can turn with the club. If I want a little advancement, I can go overhead and turn with that. I'm going overhead. Keep being mindful to turn the torso and not turn the hands. The hands don't do much for me there. The torso turn does something for me. From there, we're going to do called a walk down squat. So we're going to take we'll call it my club, my wedge here. I'm going to be head up, chest up. My hands are going to stay above my hips here. So I'm going to walk down the club and sit as low as I can handle into that squat. And then I'm going to walk back up. What I mean by hips stay lower than the hands is a lot of times I'll see folks when they go to do this drill walk down the club, but their legs don't move anywhere. I want to be butt back and then walking down, sitting into that low squat, and then walking that up. That's called a walk down squat. We'll do 10 of those. Last one here, we're going to call it a transverse or a turning lunge. I'm going to hold my club in my lead leg hand. So right leg's going to lead on this one. I'm going to open, 90 degrees step, put my club into the ground and bend and lunge, and step back. This is for those of you that are working on that balance. If you feel very balanced, you could even hold it overhead as you turn and step. So we'll do 10 90-degree step turns each side. So, reminder of the drills. Kneeling, step up. Kneeling, step out, alternating sides. Walk down, squat. And then lastly, have chest up, big step, big stride, transverse lunge.